What's up, guys? My name is Mad Squash 924. Welcome back to another episode of Night Call Part 18, where we are the taxi driver that tries to figure out mysteries because we were bribed. Today, I looked around. I don't see any of our suspects. Ironically, we haven't seen any of our suspects really since night 1 or night 2. Since then, it's been a lot of customers, some spots where we have to go with the eyeballs, and that's really all we've gathered. And once in a while, Janet Cho tries to reveal some information. But let's move on. Let's go talk to one of our customers. Let's start with you. Pretty close. And I don't recognize your face. Patricia Hossein. A beautiful woman climbs into your cab. There is something sensual and comforting about her. No, I just missed it, but don't worry. I'm taking a cab. Anyhow, I just wanted you to know. For a minute, you think she's talking to herself, but she leans over and whispers her address to you. I think he really enjoyed it today. As you start the cab, you notice a hands-free headset practically hidden by her thick head of hair. Yeah, I'll massage his feet tomorrow and I'll let you do the rest. A small laugh escapes her. Or the other way around, sure. And, Cruz? It's normal to feel a little awkward at first, or uncomfortable. I mean, not knowing what to do. But you'll see. A couple more days and you'll get the hang of it. Anyhow, you should get to bed now. You need to keep up your strength. She stopped talking. Her phone call is over. She catches your eye in the rearview mirror and bursts out laughing. You look shocked. A little. Your passenger crosses her legs and gives a playful pout. You're just like any other guy. Imagining all kinds of witty things, of course, like I'm on my way home from a threesome. Something really hot. A mischievous gleam lights up her eyes, then suddenly vanishes. Sorry to disappoint you, but the truth is a bit more depressing. Actually, I was at my son's house. I've been taking care of him since his accident. I'm a nurse. Oh, sorry. Don't be. Yeah, nothing to do with it. She pauses dramatically. At least I don't think you did. You don't happen to drive a semi in your spare time, do you? A smile of dry amusement flickers across your passenger's face. Anyway, he's been in a coma for weeks now. Grade 2. Not a total vegetable, but not all that hearty either. So I had them move him to his place. Cruz and I are taking care of him now. Cruz? His fiancée. A lovely girl. Your passenger puts her hand to her mouth to smother a giggle. Totally inhibited but sweet. Very religious. She prays in Spanish at his bedside every night. They've been together for 2 years now, and I still don't think they've... She blushes. Well, you know. A brief silence. You find yourself trying to think of something to say. Well, how are you holding up? Your passenger doesn't answer right away. You're afraid you've embarrassed her, but her face looks relaxed. I work in palliative care, you know. I've spent the last 8 years of my life trying to take care of people who are going to die. The only question worth asking is, how long before they die? It helps keep things in perspective. In my son's case, there's still hope, and at least I can help. I mean, I know how to do it anyhow. For one thing, there's the day-to-day stuff. Nails, hair, beard, it all grows like crazy. There's a lot of maintenance, like a gardener. Same for the teeth. We have to brush them every now and then. Because believe me, if T21 wakes up looking and smelling like a werewolf, we'll never hear the end of it. A smile escapes you. Your passenger sees it in the rearview mirror and is clearly pleased. But the biggest risk is not being able to move. Our bodies are meant to move. I know it's hard to believe when our alarm clocks go off, but it's true. Our blood circulation stops working correctly and our skin gets cold, loses all its elasticity. So we have to massage him as often as we can. And then there are the bed sores. Do you know what bed sores are? I think so. In the hospital, there are a lot of patients who are still conscious and who have bed sores. Their bodies are racked with pain. It's like being skinned alive. The worst part is we have to change their bandages twice a day. Your passenger shudders briefly. What I mean is, I'm glad T21 isn't conscious. But hey, that's enough for my sob story. Let me tell you something funny instead. Earlier tonight, when Cruz and I were washing T21, not exactly a pleasure cruise, my son is well over 6 feet tall and Cruz is crossed between a matchstick and a Q-tip. So I was managing as best as I could, rolling him onto one side and then the other. She was trying to help, though the truth is, it's pretty hard for her to take. Well, I mean, it's all new to her, so it can't be that much fun. So she was muttering religious mumbo-jumbo to herself in Spanish, Dios míos, and whatnot. And just as I was rolling T21 back onto his back, guess what? He got an enormous erection. He seems a little puzzled by your silence. You seem a little shocked. Well, it gave me a good laugh at any rate. I mean, I wasn't going to start crying or anything. You pull up to the address that she had given you. You stop the cab, and she hands you the fare. Thanks for the conversation. The ride went by really fast. She reaches for the door, then stops. You can sense she's really on edge. It's good to be able to talk. It's pretty unusual in Paris to have someone so warm. Well, good luck. She shrugs automatically as if she didn't understand what you meant. Same to you? She shuts the door carefully, then walks away. Your eye follows her as she climbs the steps to the door of her building. A moment later, she's gone. You feel something surfacing, dark thoughts, pictures, memories. The bed sores she talked about. You notice a newspaper on the back seat. Your last passenger must have left it behind, or the other one before. You grab it and put it away. Could come in handy. You turn the key in the ignition and drive away. Wow, that was different. Can we read that paper? Yes, we can. You pull a newspaper out of your glove compartment and start leafing through it. Eventually, something grabs your eye. It's a rather positive critique of a bar called Soleil's. You make a note of the information with interest. In your line of work, that kind of thing can always come in handy. You turn the page and stop. You've read about a third of the newspaper. You stop reading and go back a few pages. You thought you saw something. It's a photo of the French soccer team who've just won a match against a team from Vanuatu. You have no idea where Vanuatu is, but you have a third left to read. As soon as you get to the page, you stop. Your instinct tells you to look at a badly framed photo, and the terse article inform you that a minister is stepping down for personal reasons. She will be replaced by her right-hand man, who also happens to be her husband. Her face is not at all familiar. You don't think you've ever seen her before. You shut the paper. It'll end up in the trash tonight. If you remember, it's there. Otherwise, it will spend the rest of its days in your glove compartment. Didn't really help. Let's see. Who else is around and about? I don't think we've driven that guy around. The guy in the hood. I've seen his face so many times that I've never picked him up. Well, today's your lucky day. Let's see what you're all about. Melchior de Rorkas. The next passenger gets in your cab like an old man, returning to his armchair, all grunts and groans. After what seems like several minutes, he settles himself in a delicately fastens the belt across his chest. Looking in the mirror, you notice the man's age. With surprise, he can't be older than 25. Howdy. You got the address right? Palais de Congress. Bingo. Let's roll, dude. You smile to yourself and turn the key in the ignition. After a few moments of silence, you hear your passenger moaning softly to himself, apparently in pain. Are you okay back there? I look that bad, huh? No, it's just... I'm kidding, man. I know I look like roadkill. Feel like roadkill. Like I ate roadkill. Like some roadkill ate me. But I'm fine, really. Thanks for checking in. You look back at him. His eyes are hidden behind his hood, but his whole body is curled in on itself. He looks terrified. Are you sure you're okay? Just, pre-show jitters. He laughs, unconvincingly. Who am I kidding? I'm scared out of my mind. Literally. Scared? Technotopian 9. That's where we're going. Every biohacker, transhumanist, and futurologist worth his cryptocurrency will be there. I'm giving a talk. The closing talk, in fact. Sounds like a big deal. Oh man, it is. Someone even saw Nick there yesterday. I mean, the Condor himself. The name means nothing to you, but your passenger looks positively starstruck. Me, showing off my work to the who's who, man. The cream. A huge grin splits his face. An instant before he groans again. He digs his elbows deep into the seat. And all it took was a little brain surgery. Excuse me? Yeah, don't worry about me. You can't help a look of surprise crossing your face, but you manage to stay quiet. That's the real reason I'm so fucking scared, if I'm honest. I did this to myself. He gestures towards his current state. Designed a new kind of brain implant, one that can access everything. The unlimited learning potential of the meta web. A mind gate between my brain and the cloud. So you put a computer in your head? No, well, yes, more or less. A chip at least. I'm always connected now. You make a turn and see the lights of the conference center. Problem is, he dips into silence for a second. Have you ever felt like, I don't know, he hears teeth clicking, like he's weighing something up? Have you ever felt there's something else in the darkness behind your eyes? Some voice telling you what to do? Sometimes. That night with Aid. That one very specific moment. Oh, it felt like you were just going through the motions while something else was at the wheel. Telling her to call the cops. Telling her to lock herself in the bedroom. Telling her to follow your lead. Sometimes instincts take over, guides our hands. Instinct, right? Right. It's just that. Since the op, I started seeing. He leans over forward, and his hood falls from his face. I don't think I'm alone in here anymore. A jagged track mark of a scar winds across his hairline, but his eyes really scare you. One is completely dark, pupil blown. The other is milky white. The figure unfastens itself and exits in one fluid movement. You watch it disappear into the crowd before turning the key and driving away. That's crazy. Jeez. Let's see here. Nothing, huh? That's crazy. Have we talked to him yet? I think we've tried to pick that guy up in the past and I failed literally every time because something always comes up. Oh yeah, him. He told us about Africa. Okay. You look new. We'll go with you. As you drive by the kebab restaurant, you're overcome by the wafting smell of meat and fat. You're hungry. This lady's name is Jackie Elizabeth? Okay. The door opens. Your passenger settles in on the back seat. She's a regular. You know her address. Everything okay, honey? All good, Jackie. You've known Jackie for years now. A friend of a friend. And a rather well-liked prostitute in your old neighborhood. I hope spring is going to be warmer than last year, because I can't stand freezing my ass off anymore. She's been working the Bois de Boulogne for 2 years now. Every now and then she treats herself to a ride home in a taxi. What's the latest news? You can tell Jackie anything. Almost anything, that is. Is your back better? You smile. It's okay. It's less painful. She's unconvinced by your lie. You can see it in her eyes. That bastard really did you, didn't he? Yeah, can I ask you something, Jackie? She leans forward. Anything you want, honey? You tell her about Lieutenant Bussett, about her threats, and your mission. You got screwed again, honey. You're too nice. She sucks her teeth. You and the cops, you're going to have to go see someone or start banging one. Jackie. Okay, right, you're the boss. I'll ask around. Some of my clients might know something. A pause. You know what's coming. You're expecting it. But fair is fair. The next ride is free, okay? You nod silently. You meet her eyes in the rearview mirror. And now, take care of yourself, okay? You give her a smile. You know me. She looks pensive. Yeah, right, I do. That's the problem. She starts talking all at once. She speaks quickly. An incessant flow. I would've told you how shitty the news law is, huh? You nod yes. Jackie is referring to a law to find sex workers' clients. One of my regulars came back to see me today. Did you know they're going to make them take a class now too? A class? Yeah, a class. Our clients are already paying fines, and now they're being forced to attend a 2-day class. Sure, go on, tell them it's not normal to see a prostitute. This client of mine, well, I know he didn't like it much, but he told me they were arrogant. You know, they were talking down to the convicted clients or something. I don't understand the government, the politicians. We exist. We're not going away. We pay taxes too. Do you realize that? I pay taxes like you, like everyone else. A pause. Almost everyone, that is, in this damn country today. The richer you are, the less you pay. What a mess. She grows contemplative for a moment. When she speaks again and her voice is gruff. I'm only doing my job, you know. There are people who come to talk to us. They talk to us about reinsertion and all that. It's great for the young girls who just started. But for the transvestites, the Uruguayans and Colombians, there's no way they're going to find work by themselves. And me, it's just been too long. There's no way I'm going to be a checkout person in a grocery store. First of all, I run into clients all the time. She smiles, proud of her little joke. They're serious. It's just that it's my job. I chose to do it. That's the great advantage of this line of work. Even you didn't choose. Eh. Your friend sucked her teeth softly. The ride continues for a while in silence. To me, what's really outrageous, she seems saddened by the conversation. What really gets me is the fact that they're not going to help us any more than before. The cops, the state police, the whole lot. They ignore us just like before. They threaten us just like before. They make fun of us just like before. Like they only passed a law for the money. $1,500 for the first offense, $3,000 second. Pretty stiff price for a trick. The shot. We have fewer clients. Makes sense, huh? A funny country we live in. Land of the rights of man and all that. Her voice is tinged with anger. Frights my ass. The only ones who come around now are the regulars, or the basket cases. Or the guys who don't know what they're risking. Yeah, particularly the guys who don't know what they're in for. She gives a funny laugh. It sounds like crushed metal. It's good business for the cops at any rate. You just stand there in the alley, you wait for the car to park, you nab the client when he's getting out of the van, and presto, $1,500. You nab 4 or 5 a night and you're set to go. Funny country. The land of human rights and all that. You check off all the boxes, your boss is happy, you get your bonus. And all this without thought for good old Jackie and her clients. She shrugs. A moment later, you pull into the side street where Jackie lives. The building is in poor repair, the hall lights flickering. You park in the first available space. Always a pleasure, honey. She pays the fare with a few crumbled bills and coins. That's all I have. And no problem. She smiles. Good night, hun. She gets out of the cab and walks slowly over to the entrance of her building. She's not in much of a hurry to get home. She still paid a lot, though. She even gave a tip. Let's see. Who do we want to talk to next about things? I don't think we've talked to you, have we? I want to say no. This will be our last customer for the night, it looks like. Lola Hopkins. Your next passenger is heavily pregnant. You go to help her inside, but she waves you away with a hand. I'm fine. Judging from her accent, she's not from Paris, not from France, English or maybe American. Things just take a bit longer these days. She settles in, adjusting her coat around her huge belly. You gun the accelerator and set off. Instinctively, you find yourself driving more deliberately. Not slower, just carefully. You regard the woman in the mirror. She's staring out of the window with a 1,000-yard stare, her hands wringing themselves around each other like a fistful of snakes. You're trying to place my accent, aren't you? You nod sheepishly. I'm from the UK. Wait, Manchester. I'm from Manchester. I mean, that's in the UK, but the distinction is important, especially these days. Say, the UK and everyone assumes you're from London. I fucking hate London. You've driven a fair few British people over the years. Most don't speak a word of French. Many had an odd sense of pride in their lack of language ability. But, accent aside, the young woman behind you is fluent. I didn't mean to offend. She looks away from the window and into your eyes. You try to smile. Her face softens. You do more about it. You get used to it. The worst thing is you could have opened with, She shifts uncomfortably. How far along are you? I use normal vocabularies to ask extremely personal questions from the get-go. You shrugged. Some people just like to talk. Helps the ride pass quicker. Does it now? She squirms a little, a small grimace passing over her face. 7 months? Fuck, feels more like 17. You any idea how hard it is going for a piss in a crowded shopping center carrying another human around like a fucking personal bus service? Another human whose favorite pastime just so happens to be giving your bladder a swift kick every 20 minutes or so? She blows out a sigh. It sounds like hot air escaping a kettle. It's pretty fucking hard. Her tone is harsh, but looking back at you, you see her hand stroking her belly. And a small smile linger briefly on her lips. She's a feisty one, that is for sure. That's her French side. She's half French? Not sure it's half. I'm the one doing the heavy lifting. Well, definitely a good third or so, yeah. That's why I'm over here. had insisted the little bugger pops out over here. Got herself an EU passport. A smile on her face dies in place, and she stares out of the window again. And he needed to get out of the UK after everything that happened. You mean the political situation? She sighs. Fucking Brexit. As soon as she's spoken, her mouth folds into an O, and a groan spills from her throat. I swear every time I talk about Brexit, another grimace. She kicks the shit out of my fucking womb. She rubs her belly and mumbles a few soothing words. After a moment, she returns her attention to you. Oh yeah, fucking B-word. I mean, no one thought it was actually going to happen. You see the campaigners out in the streets remain and leave. You pass them off as fanatics or something. I wasn't into politics when I saw on the news every night. Something leaks through. Something gets you thinking. Head was more into it than I was. Kept bringing home these flyers, blue for remain, red for leave. Like it was a fucking primary school popularity contest or something. You look back, and you notice her hand go to her mouth. She starts plucking nervously at her bottom lip. Must have been scary. Nothing was ever positive, every argument, every headline, non-stop fucking negativity. Fucked if we stay, fucked if we leave. Promises from every side, numbers, predictions, posters, billboards. A few weeks before the vote, no word of a lie. The whole fucking city felt like a bomb about to explode. People at work getting into slanging matches about this bit or that bit. How could you possibly think versus you don't know what you're talking about? When the result came back, there was about 20 minutes of celebration. Then the Brits kicked on something harsh. Walking to work that morning, you couldn't help but judge everyone. Like, I wonder which way she voted. There were a couple fights at work. Like proper fights, fists swinging all over the place. If there's one thing insecure fucking men need, it's something to throw punches about. So, how did your partner take it? Bad. Worse than me. I hadn't seen him cry before that. Came home from work, and we just hugged till he stopped shaking. When his gran died, his fucking family dog, never so much as a tear. But this was too much. I had to cry myself. After it turned out all those twats in London didn't know what the fuck to do and what next. Yeah, it unraveled pretty quick. Things got real bad after. Had a few runs in with Brexiteers, you know, the hardline knobs with Union Jack hoodies and Winston Churchill tattoos. They just told him to fuck off home. He couldn't deal with that. Yeah, the same over here. But one group, we were together. One time, and a group of them told me to fuck off with them, called me a traitor. Idiots squared up to them. Things got tense. First time I've ever been glad to see a copper. So yeah, we fucked off. Wasn't worth over there. Had jobs had drawn up anyway, so no one wanted to hire a foreigner. Been staying with this lot over here and ever since. Spare room. His mom didn't speak a word of the Queen, so her daddy's tried blessing him. They loved baked beans. She smiles to herself. But now this one's Emma's here, I don't know. I don't fucking know. She shifts again, the seat creaking under her weight. That's a sound you seldom hear. What would you have done? I mean, if you ever have a Frexit vote or something? How would you vote? I mean, I don't know. I don't really know what would happen either way, so how can I make a reasoned choice? I mean, it would just be guessing. Then again, if I can't make a decision, who can? But you just pretend it wasn't happening. Close your eyes, hope everyone else makes the right choice for you. Nah, mate, nah. Her accent thickens as she goes on. One way or the other, you have to take a side. Nothing that irritates me more than more cheery fucks in the middle telling everyone it's just to get on. That's not people, is it? We ain't designed to get on. Put two people on an island with enough food for both, and within a half fucking hour, one of them kicks the shit out of the other over some biscuits. Problem wasn't the voters guessing. Problem was the people asking the question, making shit up. Using photos from Africa saying there were immigrants who wanting into the UK. Putting made-up numbers on the side of fancy red buses. Telling us horror stories about rioting and civil war. That's where the problem. Not our fault if we had to guess. It was their fault for asking the wrong fucking question. You pull up to her destination, and she fumbles her fare over to you. Sorry about all that. No, it's no problem, I understand. Yeah. At least over here, everything's, well, over there. I don't have to think about it every fucking moment. She moves to leave. You go to help again, but she smiles a refusal at you. Really, it's okay. Well, appreciate the offer. Makes me feel welcome. A few moments later, she waddles slowly to a door. Her hands continue to twist themselves into his shapes as she waits for an answer until finally she disappears inside. You sigh and set off into the night. Guess we got some cash, and the night is ending. Well, did we make profit this time? Nope. We lost like 30 bucks. You wipe your face. You're starting to feel sleepy. A bus goes by, making the wall shake. It's time to get moving on your investigation. Yeah, we don't have any new information this time through, do we? It looks pretty much the same as before. We still don't really know who it could be. We have some good options. It's crazy. At first I thought it was going to be Hervé, but the more I'm looking at it, it's probably not Hervé. We'll see. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slide onto the open sofa bed. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. You open one eye. You slept badly. Sometimes you're so tired you can't seem to get any rest. You'd like to understand how that's even possible. You get up quickly. About a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. As night 6 begins. Crazy. We need more evidence. That's what we really need. We'll end our episode here, unless Bassett shows up. Which she apparently is not, which is good. That's good for us. Anyway, this is where we're ending it. Hope you guys all enjoyed. If you guys have, make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you think of today's episode, of course. And if you're new to my channel or have been watching me for a little while and you haven't done so, feel free to subscribe to me, MadSquash924, and don't forget to ring the bell so you can get notified when a new episode comes out. And on the next episode, we gotta make some cash and meet some new people, new faces. Unless they're all the old faces, then we talk to somebody that we think we can make the most cash from. And then I'll see you next time. Goodbye.